All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's show, the Dr. Debbie and KB show, where every week we come to you live, bringing you the latest topics on ways to improve your health. We give you tips, tricks, all those things so that you can make the best decisions on your health, so that you can make the most informative decisions on your health with the education that we provide from years and years of experience. We've got Dr. Debbie. She has been a doctor, a naturopathic doctor for 40 plus years. She has seen it all, you guys. I don't think there's anything she's not dealt with, not seen, and not dealt with. She's absolutely amazing. And my background is in functional nutrition counseling as well as fitness coaching, and I kick her butt 3 days a week. But we help each other. We help each other, help each other. And so that's what we're here to help you guys with, help you all help each other. And that's why we're here. That's our God-given purpose and our mission. And so we are so excited. Last week we covered uncovering your labs and what they mean. And we really touched a lot of base on the immune system as well as cholesterol, heart health, and which patches, which supplements, food, nutrition, movement, all those things you should be doing if those numbers are out of whack, out of balance. So go back and watch that replay if you have not. It is on YouTube, as well as we can get you the link as well. That's going to kind of sink into tonight's call. Tonight's is part 2 of that. So we talked a lot about of the main metabolic panel that most doctors will pull and usually get from the beginning. And then tonight we want to really cover hormones and thyroid. So we're gonna let Dr. Debbie have the floor and we're gonna pick her brain. How does that sound? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Doc. Unmute. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
There you are. I got you. I got you. There you go. I'm gonna let her take it away.
Okay. Now, y'all, like Christy said, we're going to remind you again that neither one of us are doctors. We're coming to y'all, teaching y'all what we have learned and what we have learned about blood labs, what tests are being ran, which ones should be getting tested, and then the things that are getting tested that are not accurately to explain to you guys. In other words, you're sent home with this big, long page after page of blood tests, and nobody's explaining anything to you. So, for example, the whole reason I got into this profession in the beginning was because of thyroid disease. And I'd always had my thyroid checked, but I was always told there was nothing wrong with it. The numbers were in range, in that sick care system range. Okay. So after learning everything that I learned, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make it my mission to try to explain to people how simple this is. And do y'all know you don't have to have a doctor's order to get blood tests ran? If y'all have like a LabCorp, especially Quest, they are always running all kinds of specials on women's health, men's health. I sent Christy a picture of something that I looked up on Quest, and I said, is there any way to put this on the screen tonight? Because y'all know I don't know how to do any of this. Anything y'all see presented, post anything, Christy goes through the trouble to do all of that for me. All I have to do is come on and just get my mouth going. But it lets you know the different tests that you can pick from. So let's say that you're going in for your standard blood test, which is called a CBC. When the doctor says we're going to order you a CBC, that just stands for complete blood count. That's your very basics. It's up to you guys to say, hold on, I would love to have a thyroid panel done, and I would love to have a lipid panel done. And then I'm going to take it a step further and tell you, I want you to ask them to please test your vitamin D levels, and that you would like to know what your A1C levels are. Now that extends that basic CBC, your complete blood count, and it expands into a smaller territory of adding additional things. But there's still so much more you can add if you're just brave enough to get on Quest, get the test done, just send me the reports. I'll help you with the interpretation, because the bottom line is Christy and I don't want y'all to look at all these numbers and be depressed and be overwhelmed, especially if a doctor is saying, oh, this is so far out of bounds. Let's put you on X, Y, or Z medication, which comes with A, B, and C negative side effects, because there are side effects to all of those things. And so after we get through going over some of this, I want you to know, once again, we're not going to tell you all these different things that could be going on without offering a solution, because there's a solution to everything. It just gives you the knowledge you need and the power that you need in order to implement a program designed just for you. Super simple. Y'all know, anybody on this screen that knows me knows I'm not doing anything hard. I'm just not. If it's too much trouble, it takes too much time, although John will take, oh, it takes her a full 30 minutes in the morning between all the coffee going, the juice machines. Y'all, I make really good coffee, mixing in the collagen, getting the homeopathic ready, doing all the things. But then I'm set for the day. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so with your CBC, I hope y'all wrote that down. I want you to add those additional items to it. For the thyroid, before I go into anything else with it, I want you to know that the emotion behind that is when your world goes out of order, your thyroid gland goes out of order. And then right back behind the thyroid gland is another really pretty little gland called the parathyroid, which you can tell if there's a problem in that area, because unfortunately I had that come along a couple of years later, by checking your calcium levels. Okay. So if you have super high calcium levels, that's not a good thing. That means calcium is being leached out of your bones and it's flowing through the bloodstream. Does this make sense to people? And that would come in with the parathyroid. So that would be the PTH along with the thyroid that you could have tested. Can you hold this, baby? Y'all, I got this big, huge blood chemistry notebook here because there's so much to cover on the thyroid, and I highlighted just a few things because I want you to know that any thyroid issue is going to start with the hypothalamus. And I know those of you who come in to see me, hypothalamus shows up on a lot of you, and you're always like, what does that mean? Okay, well, that's where the imbalances start. Then it goes to the pituitary before it ever hits the thyroid. And if the pituitary is out of balance, that is the gland that regulates all knots, lumps, bumps, and cysts. And the food for the pituitary, I remember this for state board, is the 2 P's, parsley. Parsley shrinks knots, lumps, bumps, growths, and cysts, directly feeding the pituitary. You can bring that into balance quite quickly. It's super, super simple to do. So does anybody on the screen have any thyroid issues? This way I know how much detail. Oh, we do. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sluggish, tired, hair loss, loss of libido, morning headaches, dryness of the skin, scalp, brain fog, forgetfulness. Am I leaving anything out?
Weight gain.
Just tired. Well, oh, weight gain. You can eat a peanut a day, a bite of celery, and that's it, and live on water. And you get on the scales the next day, and there could be a slight increase in weight. No matter if you're working out with Christy and you think you're dying from anything, do you expect to lose weight because you just had 1 peanut and 8 glasses of water and you gained weight the next day? That's thyroid insufficiencies. Okay.
Metabolism.
High levels. Yes. Yes. Because the metabolism does slow down to like nothing.
Dr. Debbie, before you continue, I love that you mentioned the hypothalamus and the pituitary, because you and I both know. So for those that don't know, the hypothalamus is in the brain. The pituitary is also in the brain. And I like to think of it as the hypothalamus as the king and the pituitary as the queen. So the pituitary goes down and scans to see which hormones are too low or too high. That's also your endocrine system, thyroid too, whether that's testosterone, progesterone, estrogen. It sends a signal back to your hypothalamus tells it to make more or less, and then it makes more or less of the hormone, and it all starts in the brain. And did y'all hear what she said about emotions? She said that the number one emotional component to your thyroid being out of whack is if your world feels out of whack, if your world feels chaos, right?
Mhm.
Right? You taught me that. And so it starts there. It starts in the brain. And we all have high stress. We've all gone through trauma, right? And so people wonder, well, what caused this imbalance? What caused that imbalance? So if you have ever worked with Dr. W or myself, we nail you with that root cause. We're like, you gotta get your world under control. You gotta get emotions under control, stress under control, because that really is the root cause to a lot of those imbalances, right?
Yes. Yes. So, do y'all know what patches? Can you even guess? If you think a disease is forming, you're always going to add glutathione. SP6, here, Mr. Vanna.
Mhm.
SP6 on that left side of the body, or I like to put it sometimes up underneath the thyroid with the glutathione up underneath it. Or sometimes, if I don't have enough room on my body, because y'all, I wear all the patches, I
Mhm.
got a lot of catch up work to do.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll put it on the back of the neck. And then, of course, you're going to have your X39 because that's the only one that will stimulate and give you those brand new stem cells. Let me rephrase that. I want to be compliant. Helps your body by turning on your light switches. Woohoo! You're plugging yourself into the wall and reactivating and stimulating stem cells without the patch putting anything into the body other than the frequency to help your
Mhm.
body to do that. Then you have the Eon to help bring down inflammation because any disease pattern, any disease, I don't care what the name is, A through Z, there is inflammation going on in the body. So the next test, you can write this down that you want to have done is your C reactive protein. That will also, if there's a ton of inflammation and it's high, there's going to be some cardiovascular issues that you're going to be looking at. So you want to watch that one. You also want to watch homocysteine. So y'all, this blood test could add up to be a lot of money, as you can tell. But if you just had those basics with that outer parameter of the additional things that I first mentioned to you, you're probably looking at about $300 if you catch one of their specials. And then they'll offer you a medical doctor to help you with some type of interpretation, or just send me the reports. I'll help you to understand where you need to start and the things that are going on, because this isn't rocket science stuff. This is things that the average individual ought to be able to know just from looking at their standard blood test. But you're going to be lucky if you even get a copy of it. To request those things nowadays, it's like you're asking for the doctor from the doctor for $1 million or
Mhm.
something, because they're like, oh, I'll have to see if they've got time to do that, or they're going to charge you, or they tell you have to drive to whatever city you had it done in to pick up your results. Whereas if you do a company such as Tony Robbins Life Force, there's another doctor, I can't think of his name, that has another company out that they also come into your home. They will run all these tests, and then you get a virtual appointment with a medical doctor. And these are not just blood tests that are done for you. They're also going to tell you your real age, obviously, you know what that is, but your biological age, which means the age at which your organs are functioning inside of your body according to your blood test. And that's enough incentive to keep you going right there. Like working out with Christy. I gotta tell you, if I didn't see any results happening, what? I'm not gonna be looking forward to every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday working out with her. Have y'all seen her? That is not easy. So if I didn't see results, I would not be inspired to continue to go. It's the same way with the blood test. And that's the quickest way to see change. That's what David Schmidt does when he comes in with all these clinical trials and all these things. He has people's blood tested and you can see the results right away.
Mhm.
Everybody,
Instantly. Instant
yeah.
results, right? So that X39 patch, you guys, Dr. Debbie and I talk about it all the time. It's the foundations. That is the one that activates the key peptide in your body that you were born with that's already in your body called GHKCU copper peptide, which then causes your body to mobilize and waken up those stem cells, which is the big dog, right? Anytime any kind of disease occurs, A to Z, right? Well, I don't think there's anything that science has proven that stem cells can't take care of, right? It's a miracle. And so talk about rapid results in those clinical studies they did, they saw within 24 hours of putting that patch on your body, they saw an increase of over 4,000 master cells being activated, over a third of genes being reset to a younger state, right? They saw a reduction in inflammation, the C-reactive proteins. They saw an increase of glutathione by 30%, which is your body's master antioxidant. And they saw a bunch of other things as well, but those are the key points. And so when Dr. Debbie's telling you that it's instant, things start to happen instantly. Now, when you feel those things, those are a good sign that everything inside is being taken care of. And the expressions of those things are like more energy, better sleep, less inflammation, all those things that we know, we feel, we see. So it is a compound effect, and it does happen over time. And every doctor will tell you for every decade of life, you should patch for 1 month. That is when you'll see all of your stem cells woken up, working for you like an army. So that is so, so important to keep in mind. It's a compound effect, but like Dr. Debbie said, it happens instantly. It's starting to happen instantly, whether you feel it or you don't. You gotta be patient, right? So I love that.
Yeah. One more thing I want to tell you, thyroid people, before I move on into cardiovascular, a couple of tests that I want you to have done, because I'm going to keep telling y'all this till Jesus comes home. The thyroid regulates the rate at which your heart beats. And that's usually when the clients come piling in my office. They start feeling the heart palpitations, don't know what's going on. They don't realize there's an underlying problem there. There's something that I order, and it's from Amazon. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is a bottle of iodine that you can actually take and rub it in on the thyroid. And depending on how quickly it sucks it in, depends on how off balance your thyroid is. You could even put it on your wrist, on your leg, anywhere, because the body will suck it up and soak it in. So what I do, this is what I do. I just put one drop in one of my mini Yeti beverages that I drink throughout the day, and I put it in there first thing in the morning, because again, I don't want everything to rev itself up between the stem cell patches to all the Cellergize and everything else that I do. And you don't want to overdo it, because if you overdo it, you could create a quicker, faster heartbeat. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions on that?
Love that. Dr. Debbie, so
Yes.
for example, like let's say since we're on the topic of thyroid, let's say somebody's thyroid is functioning too high or too low. What patches would you say those three that you mentioned, the glutathione, SP6, and X39
And the
and
Eon
Eon?
is in
Yes,
there.
those four.
But if you're concerned about a disease, okay, like for myself, when they said you have less than 3 months to live, you're not going to be here. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay, if you hear that diagnosis because of X, Y, or Z, and in order to be compliant, I cannot use the vocabulary I would like to use, well, then slap on the glutathione that is used in every disease treatment. It is the master antioxidant. Even in this blood chemistry notebook that I took this course like probably 15, 20 years ago in college, it's written all over my pages, glutathione master antioxidant. And that is not a cheap thing to get IV infusions with. And then it doesn't hold. Just a couple of hours, you can retest and it's already dwindling out. You slap a glutathione on, it's going to increase your own levels 300 to 400% and hold it for 24 hours. Let that sink in a minute. I mean, that's heavy duty stuff, and that's fighting off any disease cells. And then you've got healthier cells being created on a daily basis with the X39, with the Eon coming in, removing all the inflammation. That's a win-win situation, unless you're living on sugar or you're hanging out at fast food restaurants. I probably can't say a name legally, but any of the fast food restaurants, I'm sorry, y'all, you just can't eat there daily. It's clown food. It's not real. It's just something they put on the menu that you put on the taste buds and you enjoy the flavor because of all the chemicals, 101 chemicals.
Mhm.
If you don't believe it, y'all, I could do a whole class on just this. Go buy one of your hamburger or cheeseburgers. Don't eat it. It's not to eat. Put it on your cabinet. Nothing's going to happen to it in 7 days. Then move it outside. No flies are going to touch it. Nothing's going to touch it. Then take it, put it in the refrigerator uncovered. Try the freezer. Do whatever. And 50 to 100 years from now, because y'all are still going to be here, y'all still going to be alive and looking as good as y'all look. Go check on that hamburger. It's still going to look just like the day you ordered it from the restaurant because of the chemicals. That's one hamburger. Y'all, there are school kids that literally live at these restaurants, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm. Health starts
Grams
at your mouth, is what she's saying, guys.
You
It
got it.
starts with what you put in your mouth. It's so, so important. Oh yeah, that's just amazing. Good stuff. Food is your foundations. Food is your foundations. Movement's your foundations. We will preach that till the cows come home. Make sure you're
Yes,
hydrating, getting your good sleep, and then these tools that we share with you, they are a literal cheat code to to biohacking your health, right? All those patches she mentioned. If you got any kind of thyroid dysregulation, X39, glutathione, Aeon, SP6. Did I leave one off? That was four.
okay.
SP6, aloe vera too. So I love aloe
Yes,
vera and SP6 are known. If you've been using the patches, we know that those are used for endocrine support. They've been documented to support and balance your endocrine system. What does that mean? Well, that's your adrenals, your thyroid, your ovaries or prostrate for men, your pancreas, right? That's your entire endocrine system. And so those have been heavily documented on the clinical studies to balance those. So super, super important to add those with the other foundation patches that Dr. Debbie mentioned for extra support and extra cheat code to get there faster.
that's right. You can use just one patch if you want to. You can take just one supplement if you want to. And you can eat just one healthy meal a week. That's going to take you forever to heal. Good luck. Not going to be one of my clients. Not ruining my reputation. I work too hard to heal these people, to help y'all heal and get healthy, because I don't really know of anybody that wants to do it in a slow manner. People want results and they want them fast. They want them quick.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, do y'all remember what I taught you last week about your cholesterol number, taking your age and adding that to the baseline of 200? Does everybody remember that? No,
Actually,
I
go
didn't
ahead
think
and
so.
repeat
That's why
that
we do.
again. I think we need a little repeat here.
Okay, so the baseline number, take 200, add your age. So if I had 200 to 66, my age, my cholesterol should not go over 266. Then there would be something you might need to work on. Then we're going to go in and check triglycerides. And if those are high, that is a direct reflection of your fork, knife, and spoon. Directly, not cholesterol, not the LDL, not the all the high ones and the low ones, and so on and so forth. Triglycerides and cholesterol. So you take that base number 200, add your age to it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
The other thing that I want y'all to ask for, like I said earlier, was a homocysteine and the C-reactive protein, because that falls into cardiovascular, and that's not going to be on your regular lipid profile. Okay, so again, you're just going to get basics. You're not going to have any answers as to why something else is high. Okay, the other one would be something called fibrinogen activity. And y'all just know that there are different products. If you're interested in anything, get with Christy or I, the person that referred you, and we'll tell you what product we would suggest. Bottom line, to knock out cardiovascular as well as thyroid issue, those basic patches and methylation. You got to have your body methylating, get the methylated B vitamins. It corrects all the stuff. It will give you energy. Nature Sunshine has a methylated B vitamin. There are other ones out there on the market. There's not one that I've found that has all of them in there. And then you can get the B12 all by itself if you want that extra shot of energy, or you could add your liquid chlorophyll. But that will pretty much bring in together that cardiovascular with the thyroid. Because remember, if there's thyroid issues, it's just a matter of time before cardiovascular comes into play, because those kidneys are filtering the blood. And if there's blood pressure, there's going to be a blood sugar issue. There, one thing connects to the next. So just try in all areas of your life to keep a really good balance. Listen to that gut feeling telling you what's good for yourself and what you really shouldn't be eating. And if you're going to eat it anyway, here comes the food enzymes. You better double up on the food enzymes. Ask Jesus to bless your food, to double bless your food. And do better the next day. Don't beat yourself up with guilt, because we live in a real world that's just filled with synthetic, fake food. Right? Any questions thus far?
That's great. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any questions so far? Terry
I have a
Tognetti, that's
question.
total cholesterol. That should be less than 200 plus my age. Yes. So that's 200 plus your age. And that number is recommended not to go over that. When it does, then it's a concern. Correct, Dr. Debbie?
Absolutely. Yes. And Vanessa, what is your question?
Specifically, I was going to ask with inflammation markers on the thyroid, but they don't have any other, like Emily just had her thyroid checked, and she had inflammatory, whatever that marker is. I can't think of the name of it. I don't think you
C-reactive
mentioned it.
proteins?
No, it wasn't that one. It was specific to the thyroid. It's like the anti-galactosin or
TSH.
something.
Okay.
TSH?
No, it wasn't a TSH, but nonetheless, it's just her
TPO?
thyroid.
Was it your
Huh?
thyroid peroxide antibodies, TPO?
No.
Okay, because that'll
It
show
was,
inflammation
but it
too.
was like it was just inflammation. And I told her, I said, put the Eon patch on there. But I was wondering also, would she do in the Lugol's, the J Crow, because I have that, and I do a drop also in the morning, you know.
Hey. Okay. There
So
you
what
go.
do you
Yes.
do you think that would be helpful to her to do that because
I
of the
think it would
inflammation
be
along with the
helpful.
Eon?
And I
Okay.
would start with a spot on her wrist and just drop a couple of drops and just hold. Don't rub it in, just hold it there and watch how quickly it gets sucked right into the skin.
Yeah.
That's another class in and of itself too, because if you don't think that what you put on your skin or your hair or your soaps or any of the things affect your health, it does. So
Yeah.
there's an experiment you can try tonight. If you have raw garlic in your house, rub it on the soles of your feet, the really thick part, the thickest part of the skin on your foot. Just rub it in there. You will taste it in your mouth in less than 2 minutes. And again, if that doesn't tell you anything, I give up on y'all, because you've got to start buying cleaner, better products. We have somebody in office now that's working to get some of these chemicals and food dyes and all the things out that we are saturating our bodies with on a daily basis. And couple that with the EMFs that we've already done a class on, it's really challenging for the children growing up in this world, eating at the fast food restaurants, being exposed to all the things, to stay healthy. Y'all, there are children's hospital. They're just all over, and they are full. They are packed with these children, and the mothers and the fathers are just devastated because of what they're going through. So don't keep your mouth shut. Let people know you got an answer. You know some things they could try or they could do, starting like with a simple little food program. I'll put this in my little book too. This is not a pretty copy because Christy's not here with me to do this. Let me see if I can even center it up. Where you pick your protein, pair it up with a vegetable, add a fat. It's that simple, y'all. Don't be slopping it between two pieces of regular bread, or help me, John, cheap tortillas, the things that he's tried to bring into this household. And y'all, he gets in trouble. So I go to get out in the truck and I'm like, what is this bag of Fritos doing here? Rodney, you're going to let me bring it in the house.
We got to keep the men in line.
Yes, He tries to be kind and nice with all the things, but there, he does have temptations. We're just not going to bring it in the house. That way it's not in our mouth. If he wants something, he's either got to walk out to the truck in the rain and the storm or whatever to get the stupid Fritos, or he's going to have to drive to town. We have a little grocery store right here in our subdivision, and I'm sure he has snuck some different foods.
They have Fritos and ice cream.
See?
But in my defense, we are not making protein ice cream, so thank you very much.
It has protein in it. You're good. You're good to go, John.
That's right. 2-ingredient homemade ice cream. No sugar added, no chemical stuff. Super simple to do. So small little changes because nobody's going to be perfect. I want to tell y'all, I want y'all to write these 3 tests down, and then you can ask me privately through a message because I have to be compliant on here to identify any kind of issue with the breast going on. Would be a CA15-3 test. CA15-3. Y'all, these are blood tests. That way you don't have to go get massive doses of radiation. Well, that's another thing too. Okay. So the other one for pancreas or gut issues is the CA19 -9. CA19-9. For reproductive organs for the women, it's the CA125. Okay. And then to check the parathyroid that we talked about earlier, you would have to check the PTH levels and the inflammation, the C-reactive protein. So those are numbers that I'm looking at when people bring me the labs, even though they've been told either this is normal or they've been told this is abnormal and the doctor suggests treatment X, Y, or Z. We're going to discuss it that way. The client can make a better, more intelligent decision because it's their health, it's their life they're looking at.
Yes.
Right?
So good. Thank you so much, Dr. Debbie. And you guys, I know these numbers and things can feel so just over your head or a little overwhelming. And so don't hesitate to, whether you're here with Dr. Debbie or myself, we can help you guys interpret these labs and whatnot, because it's not just about the numbers being out of whack, but it's about the story it tells. It's about the ratios that Dr. Debbie or myself look at. It's about the patterns that they all play a role in together. It's not just about this number or that number being too high or too low. It's a combination. We can see a full pattern. And you guys, I don't know if y'all know, but Dr. Debbie's background is as a lab chemist. She's studied this, not just as a doctor, but as a lab chemist. And so she is so, so intelligent, and she's helped me for over 20 plus years. I've been her client, and I'm so grateful for her. So you guys, she's amazing. Okay. Utilize what's in front of you. All right.
Y'all might not be crazy about the message, but I'm going to tell you the truth so you can make up your own mind, because Christy and I will meet any of y'all, any of our clients coming in right where you're at. There is no judgment. There's no criticism. I just always tell them, if this is the method that you would like to choose, then you're going to have to work a little bit harder. You can't get by with just one patch if you're having massive doses of poison going into the system, whether it be from food, treatment, medications, whatever. I call everything bad for the body poisons, but you have to do things a little bit differently, and we adjust the plan according to where you're at in life, because a lot of people are busy. A lot of people do not work in their home like I do, but now people like John, who is married to someone like me, has no excuse, because I would gladly share my celery juice with him in the morning, but his little butt is running out of the kitchen as I hit that button, and I'm going, do you want some? I don't want, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. So, I'm being real here.
She's being real.
Or he'll be pulling out all the steaks and the chicken, and he's like, I think there's some seasoning back there. I just wanted to try it. It was sent to us in the mail. I put it in the garage so the frequency wouldn't come in. I don't want it on mine. Don't put it on mine. Everything's perfect.
You sound like me, Dr. Debbie. Oh my gosh. Real quick, we got 1 minute left. I know, Susan, you have your hand up. So real quick, rapid fire, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, Debbie, I just want you to state the garlic. You said putting the garlic on the bottom of the foot in the rough area, but you said you should be able to taste it. If
In
not,
your
that
mouth.
means, okay, what does it mean if you can't? Does that mean that you have chemicals in your products and everything in your body, or what is that?
Oh no, you will taste it. There is no if you
Oh,
won't. You
okay.
will taste it. And
Okay.
so cut the garlic to where it's touching the skin and just start rubbing it in. Keep carrying on conversation. You will be amazed at how quickly you taste it. I
Okay.
would say to put it in the hand, but it's hard to get that smell off your hand. And as you're doing this through the night, you're like, whoa. And so if you're mad at your spouse, you could do that trick. Don't put a sock on your foot and crawl into bed.
Oh,
And
that's
let
funny.
them say, I smell garlic somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Love
Keep them
it. Thank
awake.
you.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
do we have everybody on here that has an aloe vera patch on? Did you
Yes,
write
we
that down, John?
do.
Vanessa, do you
Almost.
have one on?
Terry Tognetti says, Christine, Dr. W are the best. Oh, I love you so much.
Not
Oh,
yet. I'm
Terry,
putting
you're
mine
the
on in
best.
a little bit.
okay.
I put mine on at 8.
Put yours on at 8. Okay. And do you have them written down, babe?
I have Ken, Jan, Susan,
Who else?
Giveaway?
Does Charles, do you have one on? I don't see Cindy. Okay. All of y'all are getting a prize.
Oh. Terry's
Cut
got his on
straight-
his below his belly button.
Straight from my office. So I'll be sending y'all a text asking for your mailing address. Okay. And then I'm going to send you a gift. Because when we do challenges, and Christy, you could have got a gift.
It's below my belly button. I just don't want to show it.
You're so funny. Okay, I'll send you a gift.
Oh, you are the gift, Doc.
You're so sweet.
Oh, we
Any
love
other
you.
questions? Should we pose another challenge for next week?
Let's do real quick. We got 1 minute. It's gonna shut us down. What do you got? What's the ultimatum?
I don't know. Let's see. What's another one that we do? Okay. For all who have a glutathione up here by their thyroid, that's a good one.
Mhm.
You get a prize from me. Y'all could stack up. I give away good prizes, right, Ken? He's here at my in-house classes that we do. We give away prizes. We feed y'all, give you beverages, teach, bring in guest speakers. Nobody misses that. Everybody wants to come because I love to serve people and
Yes.
teach. Can y'all tell? See how quiet he's been? He's like, God, I hear this all the time.
Love it. I love it. Yes, stay posted for that. You guys should get a text on her in-house meetings. And then next week, glutathione right here for your prize, and be on the lookout for your prize this week. All right, guys. Without further ado, we love you all, and I will put the replay up as soon as I can. All right. Good night.
All right. Good night. Bye.